Tuesday. When you're ready to log in and check out, click on that bag. That will take you through that process, and it's really important that you are logging in. If you haven't got an account with us yet, maybe you've never shopped with us before, please open an account on the website, because it automatically and for free makes you a member of Club Highlight. We don't have a fee for our club, we just give you all the benefits but without any of the cost. And the benefits include extra discount on every order that you place with us, not just the first few, all of them. Loyalty points for every £1 that you spend that you can then either save up or you can use them as you go along. And also you get your basket spend to over £35, we'll pay postage for you. So as long as it's at £35 after your discounts, you won't pay the postage either. Right, let's have a look at some of the products on here, and then we're going to jump into a demo and we're going to flip-flop backwards and forwards like we did this morning, because that worked quite well, I think. Right, I can't have the iPad yet, but I will say hello to you when it's charged up a bit more. So Winter Whispers, Stephanie and I launched this on Saturday, and this is now my favourite winter collection that we've done, because it's absolutely beautiful. Now you're going to get your berry and fur. Now we weren't going to do the foiling files yet, but Sophie came down to me, our lovely Sophie, who designs all the Two Red Robins, she does all the detail lines, etc., came down and said, Mel, what do you think about this with the foiling? And I was like, yeah, brilliant, I didn't think we're doing it yet. She went, I know, but look how beautiful it will be. I was like, yeah, absolutely, Sophie. So we're going to talk about that in a little while. Then you're also going to get Frostfall, which is your big snowflake, but you also get your 4 little ones. I think we might have a play around with that in this show. So you've got those. Then you've got Skylar. Now Skylar is that beautiful little bluebird. On the branch, the snow on the branch, you could colour green, and that could be the moss as you go through the year. You've then got Warm Winter Welcome, which is your wreath. And if I bring this in and show you, look how beautiful that looks foiled. Look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous? Look at that. And on the reverse as well. Stunning, isn't it? So all those detail designs we can now accurately position with the little extra cross that comes in your reflections. Don't worry, I'm going to show you in all the hours. We'll go through it step by step. Then you've also got my favourite, which is White Winter. This is gorgeous, and you get a second colourway with this, which is like this really soft, really pretty pink. It's beautiful. So you're going to get all of those, 3 different sizes, reverse artwork, so you can put them back to back like the wreath, so you can be hanging them. We've then also got the snowflake. Look at this, 3-dimensional. How gorgeous is that going to look with some invisible thread on there as well? That's going to look lovely, isn't it? So you've got that. And then you're also going to get all of your digi-stamps in here as well. So you've got your digi-stamps that you can colour in, use with your pyrography tool, use with your foil pen, if that's what you want to do. We've then got all the reflections artwork. So we've got this one in here as well. So you've got that. So those are there for your dies. You'll get your reflections artwork as part of your download. Then you're also going to get the Minecraft Studio elements. So you're getting all of these. And I love this because we break it down. So you've got it with the blueberries and with the red berries. You've then got the 2 different pine cones by themselves. You've got your wreaths then broken down. So you can break all these pieces down and create your own design. I'm hoping to do something like that tonight at 6 o'clock. And then you've got all of these florals in here. That's your other colourway. How pretty is that? It's beautiful, isn't it? So you've got that. Then you're also going to get your scenes in here. So all your scenes plus your textures. So all of those cutting files plus your Minecraft Studio Shop Whisper, $16.99. That, my friends, is brilliant value for money. We're not charging you any extra for those foiling files either, so you're getting a bit of an extra bonus, which is great. Right, now then, Lily, what's going on with this foil pen?
So the bundle has sold out.
Bundle sold out.
You can either get the foil pen on its own, $34.99, and we have that other pack of foil on its own.
because we have more stock of one foil than the other.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
Right, okay, well.
It makes sense though, because all the foil comes together.
Yeah, you're right, it does. Just check that, Lily, because just check. Right, let's talk chrome looks. Now then, this I would say not particularly for your scan and cut, but with your hot foil pen, this is brilliant. If you're going to cut it down with the trimmer, it's superb. If you're going to do basic shapes with your scan and cut, it's good. But because this is a board with that bonded on top of it, sometimes, well, you do, if you go intricate, because I tested it, it can flick that top layer up just because of the way that the blade works. But this with your foiling pen or for your mats and layers is brilliant. And the reason I wanted it on this show is because we dropped the price. So you're going to get 24 sheets. That black gloss with the foil pen on top is absolutely tremendous. It's fabulous. So you've got your black in there. You've also got your red gloss in there. You've got your white gloss in there as well. Then you get that lovely brushed gold. And then you also get your royal blue in there as well. So 24 12 by 12 sheets for $9.99 is tremendous value for money. I'll tell you what, this would look lovely with embossing folders. So if you've got any embossing folders, this is going to be perfect for that. So make sure that you grab that. Even though it's not for scan and cut, it's good quality cardstock. I stocked up on mine the other day when we dropped the price, because it is beautiful. Now then, black card. Now this isn't black. This is like a very, 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 very dark slate. It's lovely. Now on Saturday morning, we also dropped the price on this for you from $14.99 to $9.99 for 20 sheets. This is great for your construction, guys. I use this to make the lantern that we did for Halloween the other week. So this is a really good quality cardstock, solid core, perfect for your scan and cut. Really nice to die cut as well, that one. So pop that into your basket. Shop black, $9.99. Now we'll give you the detail of the foils, even though these are the only ones that we've got. Shop glow is going to get you these 6 for $19.99. Each one of these has 1.3 meters on it. So you're going to get 7.8 meters of foil across those 6 different colours. So if you want that, Shop Glow, $19.99. If you do want to treat yourself to a hot foil pen, then we do have these on the show. Now, any foil that works with your hot foil pen will work with adhesive. Don't try your toner foils. They don't work. That's a different process. But any foils that you've got that work with your hot foil pen will also work with your adhesive. So in here, you're going to get your 2 little nibs, fine and bold. You're also going to get 3 meters of gold and 3 meters of silver foil. You're then going to get your hot foil pen, and all of that is coming to you for $34.99. Shop pen. That will get you that one. Right, shall we go over and start this foil going? I think we should, don't you? Come on, let's go over and have a look at this foil. Right, so this morning we did the wreath where we brought it on and I showed you how we position that, okay? So what we're going to do this time is the decoupage, because the decoupage can be slightly different. And the reason for that is, so let me start right at the beginning with this journey, because it's important that you understand why we're doing it this way. Because you're probably going to say, well, why can't you just do it this way? There's a reason, okay? So on here, this is your sheet of reflections going forward, all right? Now, if you don't want to use the foil files, you don't have to. We're not charging you for them, so it's not costing you any money at all, which is great. But the way that the Scan and Cut reads shapes is it sees a line or it sees a shape and it counts it as a number. Now, if you go into your settings on your machine, if we go down to the bottom and then up to My Machine, it will show you, first of all, the maximum scanning area, but also the amount of patterns that it can open or read or cut in one go, okay? So 900 is the top on any of the machines as far as I know. So when a graphic designer draws a shape for example, they don't just do a curve like that because it's not necessarily accurate. They do it a bit at a time like that. So they'll take their drawing tablet and they'll draw over the reflection and they'll put all of these detail lines in. Now, the CM600, which was the original ScanNCut, will only read 300 paths. A path is the same as a line or a shape, okay? It's just a graphic design term. So if we've got something like this, where we've got 9 images on and each of them have 200 lines in it, it's not going to open it because it can't cope with that level of paths or lines. So what we did, and that's why we haven't done the foiling with a lined up before. And then the other morning, 3:30, it's always 3:30, I don't know why. I woke up and suddenly thought, do you know what? We can do it, because if you bring one on and we make sure that one will open on all machines and then group that together, all we then need to do is put a positioning guide that is different to the rectangle onto the reflections. So you've got a little cross. So you can open one up with 200 paths, and then once it's open, weirdly, you can duplicate it. So you can duplicate it and then line that one up, and then duplicate it and line that one up. And then you'll group those, duplicate that and line them up with the other ones. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, please put a message in the comments because I need to know that you're understanding this. So if we've got 9 designs, each with 200 paths, 1,800 to open, it can't do it. So we're bringing them on individually. Okay, so that's the first thing that we need to know. The second thing is sometimes the decoupage layers, because of the way that Sophie needs to fit them onto a piece of paper, you might need to go a little step, one step further. So we're going to do this right now and set it going. Now it's a little bit of work, and I know some of you'll do, oh, flipping heck, I've got to do this. You only need to do it once and then you can save it. Okay, so this process that we're about to go through now, you only need to do once. I would advise you to get a blank USB. When you've created this file, take it into Canvas Workspace. In fact, we'll do it. I'll show you that in a minute. Right, so USB is in the side of here. We're still working with Winter Whispers. White Winter is the name of the file. Large is the size and it's decoupage. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. And you'll see that the cross is in that corner. It'll all make sense. So we're going to retrieve the information from the USB. We're having a right day with technology today. Go on, in you go. It might just be my USB, to be fair. It's a pretty old one. There we go, got you. You there? Brilliant. Go on, keep loading. There we go. Right, so we want Winter's Whispers in here. We want White Winter, because that's the name of the file. And this time we don't want reflections, we want the detail cuts. All right, so we're going to go into the detail cuts and we're going to go into large. So we've got large decoupage 3 times. That means there's 3 different layers. Now, if we brought all 3 on at once, again, it wouldn't open because there isn't enough, it just can't open that amount of paths. All right, so we do them one at a time. So we're going to click on the first one. We're going to press OK, and you'll see that there's a cross down here. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is group all those pieces with that cross. So we're going to edit. We go to multiple select, everything on the mat, press OK, go back to editing the objects and group it together. So that's your decoupage number 1, okay? Then we're going to add, and we're going to go back in to that USB, and we're going to go back into Winter Whispers, back into White Winter, back into your details, large, and then decoupage the second one, okay? So then you're going to, this is going to open up and you've got that with a cross, okay? So we're going to edit, multiple select part of the mat this time because we don't want to include this piece because we've already sorted that bit out. And we're going to group that. So object, edit and group, move that one down there. And then we're going to add or extra one. Now we've been doing foiling on reflections for a while, but now it's pinpoint accurate, which is what you want. And I'm as guilty of this as anybody else. When you had something like a robin and we were trying to line it up over the eye, if it wasn't absolutely bang on, it looked like the foil line was going through the eye. So doing it this way is much more accurate. We're going to go back into large, go back into the decoupage, and then you've got those two pieces and the berries and your crosses down here. That's because of the way that she's had to lay it out, all right? So please don't think there's anything wrong. It's correct, because I did it yesterday and I rang her and I went, I need you to come down a minute because it doesn't make sense. And then she explained it, and now it does make sense. Right, so you can see all of these pieces have got the cross at the bottom, and yet on the reflection, the cross is at the top. So you will have to, on some of them, not all of them, but on some of them, rotate them. So the easiest way to do that is to grab all three. Where's that cross for that one? There. All right, so we'll grab, no, we'll just do them one at a time. So we're going to, let's rotate that one first, 180 degrees. So the cross now is in the top right corner. We're going to rotate that one 180 degrees. So the cross is in that corner. And then we're going to rotate this one 180 degrees, and that cross will all line up, and then it will fit over this perfectly. Okay, so there's a little bit more work, but the accuracy is worth it. Right, let me just grab a mat and we can set this going for you. Now, top tip when you're doing this, don't use a mat that you've just retacked. Oh, blinking heck, I forgot to bring this stuff in for retacking the mat. Lily, on my desk there is some stencil glue. I need a piece of cut and use foam, a clean piece, and a plastic bag, please. And then I can show you how to do this. Right, so you're going to put this on, but because we need to tape the burnishing mat across the top, my advice would be use the grid, and this is a lip. There's hardly any tack left on this mat. And the reason I'm using a mat like this is because when it burnishes, so when the foil starter kit, the burnishing tool that comes in there, when it burnishes, it's putting pressure on. So it's doing that with a firm burnishing tool. So it's going to press it right down onto that paper. If you've got a brand new mat, you ain't getting that off. So use a mat that needs retacking, because then you'll be able to actually get it off, which is always good, right? We want to be able to use it. So we're going to open this up and we're going to load this mat in like so. And then we're going to scan this in. And from there, all we're going to do is line up those crosses. So it's brilliant that you can do that. That's perfect. Thank you, Lily. Lovely.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Right, so let's scan this in from here. So we're going to scan from where we normally scan and press start. And then it doesn't matter how it's laid out, those crosses will still work. So if you ever find any and they're not in the same position as they are on the page, she's made it so that it's either a 90-degree rotation or a 180-degree rotation. You just do it so that you know. And then if you're flipping it for your reverse, you can use the same file. You just flip the file. So you only need to do it once. So right now, if I go in here, and it doesn't matter what order I do them in either, which is really good. So if we go to edit and zoom in, you can see now I am going to zoom into 400% because I think that's really important, and I want you to do the same, please. Because even though it looks like it's lined up, you want that pinpoint accuracy. So you're going to nudge it down and one across, so that cross is in the middle of that physical cross. Now I can see another cross here, so I'm just going to grab that. That's the next layer. I wonder if this would... let me just try something else. This is live now. If I did multiple select everything on the mat and lined it up, aligned it to the top and the right, yes, look at that, all lines up in one go. Boom, I think the word is for that. Right, let's drag that now, let's press OK, and I'm going to drag that over there. There we go, look at that. So zoom in line. Well, I'm going to do that. I'm going to just make sure that it's right first before I tell you what to do. Right, let's have a look at this. So all that lot should be able to move down in one go, and then we'll check and make sure that it's lined up where we want it to be lined up. Look at that, boom. Right, so if you align them all and then align it to the top and either the right or wherever you need to align it to, that's your thing. Now then, before you save this, you need to ungroup everything. So we're going to go to Object, Edit and Ungroup, tap the screen to release the shapes. Then we're going to use our select arrows to get to the next group set, ungroup that, tap the screen to release the shapes. Same thing, next one, Object, Edit, ungroup that, tap the screen to release the shapes. Now at this point we can also get rid of 2 of the crosses. Okay, because in fact we can get rid of all of the crosses because we've lined it up now, because you don't need it to be foiling that. That's just a waste of time, but I will leave one on. So what I'm going to do now is save that, and I'm going to save it onto my USB. So file number 90. Right, now then, what I would do now is take this into Canvas Workspace. So we've opened up Canvas Workspace. I'm just going to pop my USB into the side of there. File 90 is right there. We're going to press close and we're going to import that file. So SVG, choose file. We are going to go into our USB itself there. We're going to find file number 90, which is that one. Double click that and press OK. And now I've got that file. So if I now grab all of that, well, I don't even need to group it. If you come up to the top here, I would put winter white, decoupage, so DEC, for foil, and then the size large. Now, if you download this now to this way, wirelessly, to your ScanNCut, it won't save that title. If you do it this way, where you download it to your PC, and then you open that up, it's working on it, it says, and you right click and send it to your USB, it will keep that file name, okay? And while we're here, we can then right click and eject that USB, okay? So we can now take that out safely, pop it back into here, and now when I press, let's just add so that you can see it's kept the name. I'm not going to add it, but you'll be able to see. Go into the USB. It's then got on the file winter white decoupage foil. Okay, so that's how you're going to do that and save it. Now you've done that once, you don't need to do it again. You can make it smaller if you wanted to for the different sizes. You can play around with it and see. If you, let me think how you do that. If you bring everything on and group it, yeah, you might need to redo it for each size. But it takes what, 5 minutes? That's all. And then you can keep a log of what you've got where. Right, now then, so to foil, which is what we're going to do now, and then I can carry on going down that counter with you, is we're just going to pop a little bit of pen on one of these. Just make sure that your pen's flowing, because it will get like a little skin over the top of it. You want it free flowing before you start to foil, okay? So then the foiling kit, I'll talk you through in a minute. I'm also going to talk to you about the deal that we've got on the ScanNCut. These pens are unique to Brother, and I love this because they've got the numbers on. Do you know why they've got the numbers on? First of all, the machine will ask you what level your glue is at, so it knows whether there's enough glue in there to complete that design. I know, it's brilliant, isn't it? And it will also ask you, because you can adjust the flow of the glue as well. So it's just doing a double check for you. That then goes straight into there. We push that down, and then all we're going to do on here is go to please select and foil. I'm going to tell it that the glue is on 1, because it still is. So this is where it's going to ask you to do that. and then we're going to start to draw. So it's going to do all the drawing for that in 13 minutes. Okay, that's faster than I could do it with a foil pen, that's for sure. Plus you've got all those beautiful detail lines in there. So we're just going to press start now, and that's going to give us the ability to be able to play around with that. Right, let's go and do a quick recap. I also want to talk to you about this cardstock that we've got in. So I'll bring this over here. Right, foiling transfer starter kit. Now, just one thing that I need you to know for CM customers, you can still do this. It doesn't matter that you can't lift those back rollers, because when it's foiling, it will draw the glue from the bottom up. So instead of it drawing a bit there, a bit there, a bit there, and a bit there, it'll go right down to the bottom like a printer does, and it'll print like that from the bottom up. So those static rollers never go through that glue. So don't think if you've got a CM machine you can't do that, because you can. Right, this is your foiling starter kit. Now remember, the price on your screen isn't the price that you'll pay, because you'll get your discount and your loyalty points back. In here, you've got a little activation code here. And this, the only reason that you're activating this in Canvas Workspace is to access the foiling designs that Brother have given you. It's not to register the kit. It's nothing, doesn't let the machine know that you own it. It's nothing to do with that. It's just to open up extra designs. So if you've got a CM machine and you've already invested in the foiling kit and you want to upgrade to an STX, you don't need to rebuy this. Okay, you just literally switch the foiling function on in your settings. So when you go to your settings and premium functions, click on that, switch foil on, and then it knows that you've got it. It knows that you've got it because you're putting it in that holder, so it knows that. Right, now inside you're also going to get your holder for your pen, your glue pen. You also get your glue pen. You get 2 burnishing tools. You get a burnishing mat, which we'll use when we come to the next stage. You get a sheet of gold and silver foil, and you get a little pickup tool. So any stray foil, you just press that down and it lifts away any spare foil. So it's a fabulous, fabulous product. Maybe you bought this right at the beginning and you haven't done anything with it. This is fabulous. Pauline Ellerington's just saying, really need to get my foiling kit activated. Just switch it on. That's all you need to do. Right, I want to talk to you about this posh card that we've got. This is our latest one. This is lovely. This isn't the right one. Right, Lily, can you go and find me the right one, darling, please? This isn't the right one. You can take that back. Right, let's talk vinyl. While we're here, we bought you that many posh cards. We can't keep track of them all, but brilliant deal. Right, so vinyl. Now then, we are waiting for the vinyl starter kits to come back into stock. Hopefully, they won't be very long, because this vinyl on this deal is an absolute must-have. Lily will put the details on when she comes back in. So this is your holographic vinyl. Now you're going to get 10 sheets of this, plus you're also going to get a transfer sheet. So a transfer sheet, 12 by 12 transfer sheet that you can then use with the vinyl. Okay, so you're going to get all 10 sheets of those, but that's not where it ends. Now I think this on its own was $19.99 when we first brought it to you. I'm sure it was. So you're going to get that first of all, which is brilliant. And if you've never tried vinyl on the ScanNCut with the vinyl blade, it is phenomenal. And I mean phenomenal. Even blows my mind. And I've used this machine nearly every day for the last 10 years. You're then also going to get 10 of your black sheets, 15 of your black sheets in here with your extra transfer tape sheet. So you're going to get that. Then you're also going to get 15 sheets of white as well. And again, this is a matte white, so for your snowflakes, your sentiments, etc., etc., this is going to be fabulous. So all of that, have we got the details, Lily?
Not on the show, I'm going to try and find it and add it. Bear with.
I asked 4 times yesterday, so everything was on the show. Yes, 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 I know it's on the counter, that's why, right? Anyway, we'll come back to that. Right, let's talk, blinking neck, let's talk cardstock, shall we? doing going well, this show, isn't it? Right, now then, this is our latest. And this has, and it's impossible to see it on air, but if you've ever held up, and it really is, an eggshell to the light and you see that mottle finish, that's what this is. It's a beautiful cardstock. Now, they class this as a speciality, right? So, should be $34.99. I know it's more expensive than the other ones because of that special process that it goes through. But what we've done is dropped it to $29.99 and then we did a deal. I know, because we can. So we dropped it down to $21.99 before your club discount. Now in here, you're going to get 30 A5 sheets. You're going to get 30 12 by 12. You're going to get 30 A3. And you're going to get 60 A4. So you get 150 sheets of this cardstock, 280, so perfect for your construction, perfect for your card bases. It's beautiful. It's not white, because if I put it there, you can see it's not white, but it's not cream either. It's like a winter white. It's a beautiful colour. If you've had the other ones, please get this, because this is gorgeous and it's wonderful on your ScanNCut as well. So if you want that, really, it's like a very gentle ivory. Really, really elegant colour. Shop Shell will get you that one for $21.99. Right, while we wait for that to finish foiling, I just want to talk to you about this, because this time last week...
I've added the vinyl, but it's the wrong price.
Okay, right, take it off again, Lily. We're not paying that. Breathe, Melanie, just breathe. Right, let's have a look at these, shall we? Can you just message Katie, please? Right, so this was our latest archive download from Tattered Lace. Now, we've been going back in the archives recently and bringing you, like, we bundled 4, what would have been 4 USBs together to get you a really good deal. Now, we've held the price on this one. Shop Digital is going to get you everything I'm about to show you for $29.99 before your discount. Please don't miss out on this one, because this is really important. So first of all, I've selected these purposely, because if you look at these here, these are going to be wonderful for your vinyl, but they're also going to be fabulous for your embossing as well. So if you go here, we've done 10 different panels. So all 10 different panels. We've done them as DL, rectangle, square, and then we've pulled the embellishment piece out of there as well. Then we've done it as a frame, a solid pattern, and the centerpiece separate. So you're getting all of these: vinyl, stencils, parchment, drawing them, foiling them, all of those different things that we can do. This is brilliant. It's costing you £7.50 for that lot, which is mad. Then I went on and chose you 3 of the USB, or what would have been the USBs, and wherever you see a star, it's got charisma. We've never bought you anything in the archive before that had charisma, so when I was picking the next 4, that's what I went for. So you're going to get all of the artwork to go with any that have a star at the bottom. Okay, so you're going to get the artwork for those. You're also going to get this. Now that music script is beautiful, embossed. The Noel would look stunning, and then you could use your foiled elements to decorate that up if you wanted to. You've got baubles in here. Now you can put any of those patterns in those baubles and make your own patterned lacy, tattered lace baubles, which will be very exciting. Then we come on to your card shapes. And you get 75 different card shapes in here as well. So you're getting all of this. Remember, this is $29.99, guys. The USBs, when we launched them, were $79.99, I think. Yeah, they were, because we used to do them at $71.99. And then we could do them in such big quantities that we could bring the price down. Now, this for me is the value of this. I mean, it's all worth it. I'm not going to lie, there isn't a single one on there that I'm like, not sure about that. But Tattered Lace became very, very, very well known for their decoupage flowers. And decoupage flowers you have got in abundance here. This is what made me determined to work out how ScanNCut users could use charisma with their designs, because this is beautiful. So you're going to get all of these. Now there's no stars on these because every single one of them has artwork. So you're going to get all of those and all of these and all of these and, oh, you're not going to get that as well. That's me putting stuff out. And all of those. Now this, guys, is tremendous. If you love your decoupage florals, and as Martin Parker used to say, nobody does decoupage flowers like Tattered Lace do decoupage flowers, this is absolutely for you. It's stunning. But not just for that. Look at some of the outside edges that you've got in here. These can become your apertures, your nesting shapes. Think about splitting these wreaths and then using them as gatefolds. Honestly, this is an opportunity to get a lot for a little. That is cracking. Right, let's have a look. Oh, I can speak to you now. Right, we have now got the vinyl back on the show at $17.99. That's better. I take it off, I'm not paying $59.97. Now, bearing in mind that the holographic for 10 sheets with that spare transfer sheet was $19.99, you're saving £2, but you're also getting an extra 30 sheets of vinyl, 15 black and 15 white, and 2 transfer sheets. Right, brilliant, right? Shop Casa will get you that. Can you foil and draw onto the vinyl? That's a very good question. Let's try it, shall we? I like doing this. Right, let's get that and let's grab a bit of foil. We'll have to wait a minute while it... Oh. We'll have to wait a minute while it dries. But we can try it, can't we? You know what I'm like. I just take it out of the packet and try it. There's no ums and ahs, is there? It's just... Right, let's have a look. So, let's get this pen working. All right, we've got a little wiggle there. Right, I'm going to do a David Wait waft. Waft while you wait. Brilliant. I'm up with David next. We've got a transfer paper on a 3 for 2. I know, it's great. If you don't want to go down the sublimation route, make sure you watch that next show. Right, let's try it. I might not have waited long enough, but I'm a bit impatient today because I've got lots going on. Right, let's have a look. Oh, all right, so it doesn't like that yet. I need to leave it to dry a bit longer because it is going on to a plastic. So it might not want to do that. Right, we'll leave that there and we'll come back to it in a little while. Yeah, it's smearing at the moment, but we might get there. Maybe I was a bit too impatient, so I'll leave that there. Right, let's have a look. Do you only ever have to have one scanning mat, or do they need replacing? Charlene, if you look after it, you should only never need to buy it once. It'll come with a blue strip across the top. Peel that blue strip back because it helps it recognise colour better, but you should only ever need one. Mine, I just give a clean now and again, because it gets bits on it, and mine goes in and out of bags and boxes and all sorts. So you should only ever need one. Sharon, I'll come back to you with the question. 15% of the vinyl. There you go. And Godfrey says, Stephanie did the explanations for the card shapes 4 years ago. I looked on YouTube and there are a few of the old cards on there. Brilliant, Anne. Love you. Thank you. That's fabulous. Right. Marie said, love these shows because I started my journey 11 years ago, and with Mel's quest to find new ways to use the machine, I am still learning. Absolutely. Really need to get my folding kit activated. Yes, Pauline, you do. There's no more questions, so that must mean, hopefully, that I am answering the questions that you need to ask. Please, can you explain the scanning cutting alignment? Yes, we can do that. I know you've shown it before, but I can't remember what to do. We can do that for you. I asked in a previous show, but didn't explain myself correctly as to what it was. Yeah, we can do that. I'll use a piece of paper. We can sort that out. Right, let's go back to this foiling now because all the glue's done. So while it's doing all that work, you're crafting, right? But you need to be patient and you need to let it go off. Now, I think if I do that right now, it might still pull a little bit. So I'm going to give it another couple of minutes. In the meantime, yeah, I can see it's still blue around here. You need to make sure it's gone clear. In the meantime, you're going to take this out, press that down, pull the pen out and put the lid straight back on, please. Make sure it clicks. All right, you don't want those drying out. Look how many I've got with little bits of glue. We will be getting them back in stock. They sold out this morning, but we will put an order in. Right, now you get 2 of these, and the question I always get asked is, are they the same? Yes, they are. They're both exactly the same. It's just that brother know that what crafters are like, because we lose stuff, don't we? That's probably because they get asked for new styluses probably every day. Right, let's find a foil. Bear with, well, I'll just come over here and get my mat, etc. off here. Keep that there. Right, I need to move the TV so I can put that put the one screen down and one screen up. Right, let's find a silver foil in here. This one will do. Let's have a look. Now you can use any of your colours of foils, it really doesn't matter. I'm going to just pull this out here. Now, the other thing that I know you will probably all say, because I said it as a crafter, was what about all the foil that's left over? Well, we've got a few options for that. Oh, some right there, look at that, looking at me. Actually, let's use that. Don't know why I'm doing that. That's a bit scratched, that one. Been in and out of Amanda's bag, I suspect. We're going to put this on there, like so. Right, so waste foil. First of all, you can use it with your foil pen. Okay, so the same foil that works with your foil pen, heat reactive foils, will work with adhesive. So first of all, you can do that bit. Secondly, I have to say our DIY Tape Doctor tape is brilliant with foil. So all the bits, because you're going to end up with the negative of the pattern, aren't you, basically? So all the bits that are left behind you can still use, because otherwise that's just a waste of foil, right? I know, I'm a crafter just like you. Right, now what we're going to do is put this burnishing mat over the top. And we're going to tape it. This is why I started slightly in and slightly down. And we're going to tape it right across the top there. Now, there will still be movement in this mat. Don't panic, okay? What we're going to do next is OK. Then we go to please select. Then we go down to foil. All right, so it's foil number 2. First one is your glue. Second one is your foil. Gives you your instructions. So if you've never done it before, all your instructions are there on your screen. Super, super easy to do. Then we're going to press OK and we're going to press start. Look, it's even found the little cross at the top. It's going to foil that little cross, look. All right, and look what it's done here. It's made it denser where the detail is. So now all we're going to do is press start, and that will now burnish that product onto there. Now, if you find it's moving a little bit, don't panic. Look, can you see how it moves from side to side? If you want to sit there with your finger on it and hold it, you can do. I just don't see much point, to be honest, unless it really starts moving from side to side. Then you might want to. Yeah, just doing it a bit, isn't it? You can put more tape on. Just try not to get the tape on the black areas here, all right? Because we don't want any sticky residue being left on there. Once it gets to the middle, in fact, I'm going to do something really naughty now, so please don't do this at home. I know I'm really naughty. Shouldn't do this. Oh, it's settled down now. Stick that on there for now. Right, perfect. Right, now then, while it's doing that, I thought we could go into Canvas Workspace for a minute or two and, play around with this. Right, let me find my mouse. There you are. Right, let's get rid of that and get rid of that and close that. So, now you've got all your detailed designs on there. Tonight, I'm going to show you how you deal with landlocked areas, okay, and how to set it as a cutting only line or a drawing only line. But for now, I'm going to Project Plus this. So if you go into here, there's a little download arrow there with a plus. You're going to save it as another project. It's titled, and I always save it in Canvas Workspace just in case, because your USBs can, if you don't eject them properly, like I don't sometimes, you can get corrupted. So I always save everything in the cloud. All right, so let's have a look at how we can incorporate these into a card shape, and this is using the Winter Wishes. So if I go in and choose the file, this time I'm going to go to, help if you put the USB in, Mel, that would help, like that. So that'll open up first. In a minute when it decides what it's doing. Let's cancel that. Right, let's cancel that. Oh, it's having a right nice time with that foil. I'm going to release that tape at the bottom because it's not allowing that mat to move. There we go, that's better. Right, so SVG, choose file, USB, there we are. And we're going to go into Winter Whispers. We'll go to White Winter because this is going to be a lovely one, and this time we'll go to Reflections and we'll use the large one. And I just want the reflection cut for this, okay? So now we've got that, we can get rid of that piece, delete that off. We're not going to use, well, we'll keep those pieces over there for now. Right, let me undo that because you'll notice that as I moved it, there was a little landlocked area in there that we needed to deal with. So first things first, let's grab all of this and let's go to edit and divide it, because in here, so just click off here, there, there, there and there, and there are little landlocked areas. Now, if you don't divide those, so if we don't digitally punch them through the main shape, it won't weld. All right, because you've got a shape then that's not overlapping the shape that you want to weld it to. We'll do this bit again because we are running out of time. I don't know where these hours go, it's ridiculous. So we've now divided. So when I move these out of the way, you'll see you've got all of those little pieces, those landlocked areas left behind. So now we can delete those off. So let's say, for example, we want to make a card shape, but we want this as like an over the edge or a fancy corner. So for this one, I'm going to go into here, I'm going to edit, I'm going to flip it that way first of all, and then I'm also going to flip it that way. So now I've got that as a perfect corner and this as a perfect corner. Then I can go into my basic shapes and bring on a square, for example, position that centrally about there, and then make it big enough so that it covers over like that. So you decide where you want it, like so. And then I should be able to bring these in, rotate that round a little bit, that can become the corner. So now while I've got that level or selected, I'm going to press shift and I'm going to pick up this one and I'm going to make sure both of those align to the bottom. So I know that the bottom of my card is straight. And then this one, oh, undo, thank goodness for an undo button. This one, not that one, thinking heck. Move that, undo that, it's going to undo it again, isn't it? Right, let's move that. So let's take this one, rotate this one. I'm not too worried about this being lined up with the top, I'm not worried about that. But now we should be able to grab all of that, go to edit, and when we weld it together, you've got your card shape. How cool is that? So just because we're doing the foiling files, doesn't mean that you can't still do everything else that you do. And then if you wanted to, you could put an aperture inside there, like that. And then if you divide that, so let's just duplicate this one. So we've got two of the outside edges. So duplicate that. That will give us the back of the card. If I then align this so that it's centrally vertically at least, and then divide that, so I punch the circle through that piece, I can then, you need a 12 by 24 inch mat, but I can then mirror image this, so I need to flip that, and that's it. And then when I align both of those together and overlap them, is that right? No, I need to flip it the other way as well. So that way, there we go, that works better. No, it doesn't. Flip it that way. There we go. So you've got created a mirror image. When you overlap those two and weld those together, now then let's see if it'll do this. It's quite messy in the middle. So let's see if it'll do this. Let me just select all of that and align it centrally vertically. Let's see if this will weld and leave that aperture in the middle. Yes, it does, but it's a bit messy there. That's all right, we can deal with that because you're going to have a score line going through there. So you'll still have the detail to line everything up for you as well. So you can still do all the things that you could do previously, but now you go in that extra level. That's proper move now. It's all right though, we've got a minute left. We'll be good. We can show you this before we go. And then tonight I'm going to leave this where it is and I'll show you how you then cut them out. And then we'll deal with landlocked areas tonight as well. If anybody is struggling to understand what I'm saying about the foiling, please let me know. I'm not going to be offended if you go, Mel, I just don't get it. Please tell me, because I want all of you to be able to use this new thing that we're doing for you. All right, because it is really cool, I think. I think it's fabulous. Right, come on, you must nearly be done by now. It's having a right nice time, isn't it? Right, let's have a look. There we go. Just in time, you see. Perfect timing. Let's unload this. I can always scan it back in. But look at that. Now then, this is what I'm talking about, guys. This is the difference. Look how the line is absolutely perfect. Pauline, I will do the scanning cutting position adjustment tonight. Just if I don't do it, please message me because I will have forgotten. And that's quite normal. But look at this. Look at how every single area, the centres of those flowers, look at the delicacy on those berries. It's even put the little detail line in there. Look how it's accurate in the middle of those leaves. And that's because now you have that precision positioning element on your reflections. If you're not using it, don't worry. You can delete the crosses off if you want or leave them on. It really doesn't matter. But I just wanted you to be able to get it accurate because it bothered me too. So sometimes when you're doing a detail on, like on something like a bird and the eye is the eyelid, the detail line is the eyelid, and it's not quite right, it goes through the eye and it looks awful. So this is the new thing going forward. Not only can you do that, but then we can cut all that out and build it up. And you'll end up with something that looks like this. Look at this with those decoupage layers. How beautiful is that? And every single element of it is foiled to perfection. Right, anybody doesn't understand, please let me know, because I don't want anybody going away and going, yeah, she talked a lot, but I don't know what she was talking about. I won't be offended. I'm quite tough-skinned. Right, I'm going next door to be with David now, so make sure that you join us. We're going to do some Macro Studio stuff, and then we've got the transfer papers on 3 for 2, which is brilliant. I'll see you.